facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums.
All right, guys, the Blitz is back. I'm Charlie Winkle here with Anthony Roberts and Josh Onan. We are all three back in studio for the first time in about a month. It is Wednesday, April the 29th, and that means this Saturday is the first Saturday in May. It's Kentucky Derby week. So welcome to the Blitz the Bookie Derby episode. We're taking a week off from all the transfer gossip. We're going to touch on the NFL draft next week. This week is all about Derby. And even if you're not a horse racing fan or a Kentucky Derby fan, hang out with us for a little bit. I promise we're going to have some fun. The race week started yesterday, but the real fun starts tomorrow. Derby tomorrow, Oaks on Friday, and the Derby on Saturday. Guys, y'all ready for this or what?
Go, baby, go, baby.
Did you go out today?
No, but
No.
I bet some. But I went out yesterday, of course, went out with Charlie and took the boys out. But I'm ready for Derby week. It's always a special week for me. Big horse racing fan. Used to love horse racing, eat, live, sleep, breathe it. But you finally learn you're not going to win at it. So you just got to kind of do it here and there. But as it would say, go, baby, go.
Josh, you taking off any this week or what?
No, I'm not. Well, I'm taking off a little bit Friday, head to the Oaks party. I will do a little gambling there. I am on like a 15-year losing streak in horse racing.
And Josh owes me $10,000 for the ransom, so he needs the overtime.
So I will be betting on Friday and Saturday. Not much. I usually try to save my money for just the Derby race. Been successful a few times, but like I said, on a 16-year losing streak.
16 years and counting.
So,
Derby week or Derby day is not an easy day to pick horses, but you can win some money.
A lot of other
Because
big
there's
races.
And a lot of stupid money out.
It is. A lot of stupid money. Now, this might just be me. I don't know about you guys, but I've always considered the Oaks and Derby one event.
It's the same experience.
It's a little cheaper at the Oaks. Not a lot, but it is a little cheaper.
So I would say for somebody that's looking to go for the experience, but they're not so much like a horse racing fan, you can go on Oaks Day and get the same experience as Derby. It's a little less crowded, but the scene is the same except the actual races. So I love Derby week. I usually go out every day. This is a little different this year. I did not go out today. I took a day off, but I was out there yesterday with Anthony and going back tomorrow with my mom. She's coming in town tonight. And I think we're going on Friday, right? We get tickets. We're going on Friday for the third year in a row. And for the third year in a row, I am not going to Derby. They have priced me out. It won't be long, Anthony. We'll probably be priced out of Oaks too. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. But the Derby, it's a little cheaper than last year. I think last year our seats were about $1,200. The ones we're in for Oaks, this year it's like $1,000. It's still way too high. Some of the cheapest tickets for Derby are $800 to $1,000.
Now, for some that don't know, and I'm not saying it's value because it's not value, it's still overpriced, but it is all inclusive. It's all you can drink and all you can eat. And they got them everywhere. You can just set them down and let them go bad. That $22 drink you'd buy during the week, which is way overpriced. But sometimes I just like to get 2 or 3 of them and just set them down. I do. I don't know why. I really do. I'm just like, Katie, like, are you going to waste that? I'm like, yep. I go get some more.
Well, we all know that those drinks got a little bit less alcohol in them, but that was a great move. I guess that was probably 5 years ago or so.
Yeah.
The all-inclusive thing, right around COVID. I think.
yeah, I think right after COVID.
But that was a good move.
Lines are way quicker. Everything to get a drink super quick. The guy, like, he comes around the ball games, the beer guy with all the beers, they come around with mixed drinks like that.
Early in the day, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get a drink.
It's pretty easy to get. Now, there is some premium food that is a little harder to find, but it's out there if you know where to go.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now where the food's at. This is a tip from somebody that's been there the last 3 years. I'm going to tell you where the best food's at. It's out the front gate.
Yeah.
You have to go, and some people might not even know they can go out there.
Yeah.
Because it's literally walking out the front gate.
Yes.
You might think, I can't walk out this gate. there's a bunch of people out there, but you might think, well, if I go out, I can't come back in. If you go out the front gate, they have a whole setup. There's a band out there.
Yep.
Have you seen that
Yeah, I know
whole
where it's at.
setup?
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the good, there's probably what, Anthony, 20, 30 different food
Yes.
vendors
Yeah.
right in a row. And the lines are not long. That's the spot. So if you're going Friday, I don't know if they do that tomorrow. But
No, it's not. I don't think it's Derby. I
'Cause
think
that's
it's
the
just, I think it's just
all-inclusive.
Oaks and Derby.
Yeah, so if you happen to be at the track on Friday or Saturday, make sure you go out the front gate, because that is where the most selection, might not be the best, but that's the most selection.
Yes.
There's like
Yes.
20 to 30 of them, and you can get them quick.
The food's good too. I mean, ain't like they're just giving you junk food.
A lot of different options.
Yeah, and you're paying for it, but which is fine. But I will say this, Charlie touched on that. You go there during the week of Derby week, the drinks, they're expensive. They're $20, but they're pretty decent drinks, stout drinks, good liquor. On Derby day, they definitely, I think it's still the same liquor, but they definitely water them down. They're still a drink. I mean, it's not like it's just junk.
No, they're not totally
but,
jipping you. But
our buddy Barry said this, so I'll give him credit for this. He made a great point to me. He said, Anthony, he says, if they were given powerful drinks or just normal drinks and handing them out like that, he said, dude, the place would be a madhouse. It would. If they did not water those drinks down, and you can still get a hell of a buzz, but if they were just stout drinks, they would have people just get the ambulance ready. That's all.
Dude,
just get the ambulance
with that
ready.
850 post,
Yes.
that's going to be some watered down drinks, and they may be just not available after like 6:30. They're like, we're going to shut this boy down.
well, I will say, when it gets to the last few races towards Oaks or towards Derby, the vendors aren't as available.
Mhm.
It's
That's a
just
smart move.
yeah.
It's a safety thing, of course. You got to protect people from themselves.
But the time being pushed back, that's a big topic of conversation. But to me, people are still going to get up early on those days. Now they're just going to get up early, and they're just going to drink before they drink more before they get to the tracks. So,
Dude, the greatest idea ever in the history of the Derby. I predicted this. People told me I was wrong. Not y'all, but just friends of mine told me I was wrong. So I don't know how many years ago was it, 15, 20 years ago, but Churchill Downs got lights and had night racing.
Mhm.
As soon as they got the lights, I said, the Derby one day will be ran underneath the lights.
well, this year it's just Oaks, but I bet you
It's a
Derby-
test. It's a test
It's
run.
a year or two away.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's next year.
It's
If
a
it
test
works
run.
out, everything works out, they're going to do it next year. It'll be next year.
And the rating's going to be through the roof on a Friday night.
Not only that, it's, prime, more towards prime time, the evening. Everything's cooler underneath the lights, guys. Everything's cooler underneath
I
the
don't
lights.
mind it. A lot of local business owners don't like it because they, a lot of people used to go out for dinner after the Oaks, and I guess they're thinking that people are going to be smashed and not go to dinner. It's going to be
not.
late.
But why does Churchill need to care about Pat's Steakhouse or whatever? That's not.
They don't.
Right, exactly.
They don't.
You're not their responsibility.
Pat's was trying to make a stand. Dude, Churchill don't give a shit
Well,
about
right.
Pat's.
Yeah,
That's
hey, Pat, how about taking a credit card, buddy? Taking cash only all these years.
Well, I told Anthony, I think I told you, Pat's needs to just stay open 2 hours later. Like, why don't you just...
Why not do a brunch? Why not do a brunch?
I was gonna say
I
that.
get
I
it,
was
dude.
gonna
You
say
got to adapt. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. That Pat's, they're getting 4 or 5 shout outs here on Blitz the Bookie, so that you
Hey, call us up.
owe us some money.
A
But
steak at least.
at least a steak. But I think they were trying to like make a stand for like all local businesses in Louisville, be that one. Dude, Churchill does not care.
They do not.
They will buy them and demolish that place.
They just brought the
tomorrow.
Preakness, son. They just brought the Preakness.
Yeah, they brought the-
Preakness trailer will buy it.
They don't care about any of the citizens of Louisville. If they did, they wouldn't have hiked the prices on everything and made this, which we could do this whole podcast on this, but the citizens of the city of Louisville and the state of Kentucky, we made the Derby what it is, and it's a corporate deal. It's totally different. It's not for us. It's not for the people. They keep trying to make Derby was supposed to be for the locals. That lasted
Well,
like
no, the
1 year.
original was Oaks was Louisville's Day at the Downs.
That's right.
Oaks
All right,
was,
Oaks was originally.
Yeah.
Then they gave us Derby.
Yeah, so
They just skipped over Wednesday and pushed us all the way to Tuesday.
Yeah, then it was 50 Tuesday, but then you got the Wednesday now, and they all claim, well, this is the local day. This is the day for locals to come. $5 entry. They pushed us all out. Tuesday's the only day they want us there. So we went Tuesday, but that's the only day they want the locals there.
What was the admission on Tuesday?
5.
I think it was $5.
That's not bad.
$5.
Yeah, I mean,
Look, it was a great crowd. It was good stuff. I could sit here.
the races sucked.
I could say pros and cons to the corporate monster that Churchill now is. It used to be private ownership. I could sit here and give you a whole list of pros, and I could give you a whole list of cons. I think there's a lot of positives that came out of Churchill owning it, the corporate Churchill that was needed. But I also agree with you, Charlie. I think there's some stuff that I wish that they would just take better stewardship of.
Mhm.
They don't got to. I just wish they would take better stewardship of. The market determines the prices a lot of times, but there's things you could do just to show the people that you still appreciate what you did and what you built. So
Honestly, if they wouldn't have kind of went corporate, they might have folded because
they would have
20 years ago, what was it, 20, 25
struggling
years
bad.
ago, Churchill was in trouble. And, all the changes that they've made, it's awesome over there.
Well, it's
The
the slot machines. The
Yeah.
slot machines, flat out. We were competing. The state of Kentucky was competing against other states that had slot-induced purses, and the top jockeys were going elsewhere. Our top jockeys, Calvin Burrell, was winning riding titles at Churchill, and I love Calvin. He's a good dude, but he is no high-level rider. I don't care if he won a couple derbies.
He got
He's not
3,
a
baby. He's
high-level
got
rider.
3 of them.
Yeah, he did, and that's fine. He's Mr. Derby, but he is not some high-level rider.
I
Mr.
agree.
Churchill.
Yeah, and I like Calvin. Calvin's a good dude, good rider. But with these slot purses, son, you got the Ortiz brothers here.
Mhm.
You got everybody. John Velasquez coming here, wanting to ride the whole meets, not just coming here, but wanting to ride the whole meets here. 15 years ago, guys, we were starting to become the hardest place for a horseman to make money because we had pretty tough competition for small purses. And now it's the states like California and New York that are really struggling. And when I tell you Kentucky horse racing is thriving right now, I mean, the money they're racing for is unbelievable.
Churchill, it was damn near about to fall down
Mhm.
25 years ago. There is plenty of pros and cons. I'm glad that Churchill Downs is what it is when you walk in it now because it is look, I've been to Gulfstream, but there's a lot of these tracks I haven't been to. You're not convincing me that any track is how they talked about Jerry's World when they built
Yeah.
it, just being head and shoulders above everywhere else. I feel like that's what Churchill is right now. It's
Yep.
that paddock area. There's nothing else like
The
that.
big
No.
screen that they've done. Listen, you'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh, Churchill, it's junk." If you ain't been there in 25 years,
That's who says that. The people that
because
haven't been there.
because I will sit
far
here
from that.
I will sit here and say there was a time 20, 25 years ago where Churchill was falling behind the times.
Mhm.
They weren't making a lot of money. The renovations, they were a little bit overdue. Purses were low compared to what you ran against. But I think they've had like 4 or 5 major renovations,
Oh, yeah.
including the paddock. It's the Taj Mahal of racetracks now. Now you got a few Saratoga is known for its historic carnival, very historic. Saratoga's old. Keeneland, of course, you got the beauty, right in the heart of horse country. And I think Keeneland's beautiful in its way, but Keeneland has nowhere near the bells and whistles Churchill
No,
has.
they don't.
But is it beautiful? Yeah, it's beautiful. But Churchill's pretty nice. But you get out west, you got, where the turf meets the surf, Del Mar, they're beautiful. But I'm with you, Charlie. I don't think there's a nicer racetrack, at least in our country, than Churchill Downs. My favorite thing is they've done? I love the paddock. Of course, that's what everybody loves. That's the new renovation they did. Whoever designed that knocked it out of the damn ballpark. Grand Slam. The paddock renovation was absolutely, I couldn't imagine what they were going to do, and they did it. And I mean, it is the best paddock I've ever seen, how they brought the Twin Spires back. But my favorite renovation over the last 25 years is the big TV. It's great for the infielders. It's great for the people just sitting at the track on the
Right.
clubhouse. I mean, that's what you look at. It's that big old
Mhm.
TV out there.
Yep.
Also, if you're just walking up to the track from far away, you can watch it from the street. The TV's
Yeah,
huge,
yep.
dude. It's freaking
Mhm.
huge.
You can see it from the Waterson Expressway,
Mhm.
like 5 miles away.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is huge. I don't know if y'all saw that new screen that the Orioles got.
Yes.
Did I send y'all a video of that in
Mhm.
their outfield? It looks humongous, and I looked it up. It's like a third of the one in Churchill. Like seriously, it might even be littler than that compared to Churchill.
Do you remember going to the infield, Charlie? That's where we all grew up and started at. And when
Yeah,
you
they
were
had
on the
like
infield,
20-inch TVs out there, dude.
Yeah.
Like all the way out there was like two 20.
and there
I
weren't
say
many of them.
20-inch.
There weren't many. Everybody was running to them during the race.
Yeah.
You hear everybody kind of clamoring like they're going to go
Right.
off, and you
There
run
was
to a
two
TV.
of them, right? One on each side of the backside, and they were I say 20-inch. That's what they looked like, but they were so small.
That TV was a game changer. Not just, like I said, not just for the infielders, but I feel like most time when I'm at the track, just sitting on the clubhouse. That's kind of what I'm looking at. It's that big screen over there.
Well, if you ain't
know?
on the third level where you can see the backside of the track, you're definitely watching that
Yeah.
screen for sure. We'll have to see if that's the biggest outdoor screen.
At one point, it was.
I heard stories. This is just stories. I'm not saying it's true because I don't know that there on a crystal clear night that UPS pilots could see it from Indianapolis on a crystal clear.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, seen it on a
Ain't
crystal.
no damn
Dude,
way.
I'm just telling you what I was told, like on crystal clear nights where there ain't a cloud in the sky. Maybe if you're way up there and you can see like that
We need to
light
call
way in the distance.
Mythbusters on that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We need to call
I think I might-
Mythbusters on that. That's what, like 90 miles?
Yeah, probably.
There ain't no way.
I'm with you. I'm kind of with you.
All right. So before we get into previewing the actual Derby race, you guys mentioned, or Anthony, you did, what Derby meant to you as a kid. I'll go first real quick because I'll be quick with this. I was born here, but I grew up grade school and middle school in Maryland. To be honest, I didn't even pay attention to the Derby until I moved back in probably like 94. So until I was about 13 or 14, I didn't even pay attention to the Derby. The Preakness is in Maryland. They don't care. They do not care. I knew nothing about the Kentucky Derby until I moved back here in 94. So that's when my Derby experiences started, when I was about 8th grade and into high school. So it meant nothing to me as a kid because I didn't know about it. Nobody cares in Maryland, which is nuts because they have the second leg of the Triple Crown. So I wasn't into the horses until I got into about eighth or ninth grade. And honestly, I really got into it in ninth grade when I had to work at Churchill Downs for a basketball fundraiser
They do that on purpose.
for high school,
Yeah.
cleaning up garbage. Actually, we didn't clean up garbage. We delivered food up to the concessions and started sneaking off and making my $1 exacta box with 3 horses, $6 bet.
You didn't have to sneak.
Shout out to Jeremy Nooner for that. Jeremy Nooner taught me how to bet back when I was about 14 years old.
When we did Derby, we always just went to my uncle's house on Shanks Lane. Crumbs, go down.
Shout out Shanks Lane,
Shout
baby.
out Shanks Lane off Cane Run Road. But we'd go to my uncle's house, and that was my first experience with, the jackpots. You put all horses in a pot, and you got $1 jackpot, $2 jackpots, $5, $10. Just doing the jackpots. They'd have a bookie where you learn about the gambling, how to make your bets, and just being around. It was almost like Christmas or a family reunion with the amount of people that showed up. Is what it always kind of reminded me of. You hadn't seen your certain cousins in a few months. You got the whole crew back together. You're playing basketball, and then every 27 minutes or whatever, you're going over there and getting your
See if you
dollar
won the
out.
jackpot.
See if you won the jackpot. So that was my early Derby memories until I got old enough to kind of, afford my way into the track on Oaks and Derby. But just the whole family fun of it, good food, jackpots, and just learning how to be, just learning the degenerate gambling side of it to get you hooked of what all the Lavillians, especially the South Enders, do back in the day.
You probably started when you were about 4. You were probably the one. You were probably actually booking the party.
Yeah. I just want to make one correction to your deal you just told everybody. 2 corrections, but that ain't a correction. One's cool. The Preakness is now owned by Churchill. We talked about that before the podcast. But the correction was you did not have to sneak the bet. Them old son of a bitches would let you bet at like 13 years old back then. They didn't care.
I wasn't sneaking from Churchill. I was sneaking from my damn coaches that I was there with for the fundraiser.
Them old timers would let you
No,
bet.
it wasn't about that. Yeah, they didn't care. We walked straight up to I didn't get anybody
Go to the oldest one. Go to the oldest one.
Hey, one time I can remember this. I was probably, let's say, 8th grade. I got turned down
by the person
by the person at the window.
Well,
and then you probably went 4 windows down and made the bet.
Yep.
Oh, I've been in the security room probably 3 or 4 times. I swear to God. I've been in the security room 3 or 4 times. They got a little bit stricter as I got like 17 years old. They started getting stricter, and we would go in there during school hours, and they knew we shouldn't be in there, and we were making bets, and I got popped like 3 times. They finally kind of got a little serious with me that last time and scared me a little bit. So I stayed away for a while until I got 18, I think. I just went with my grandma.
Right.
No, for me, Derby's always been special. I grew up by the track, and the first thing that I could remember about Derby was it was just such a big event where I lived, a big event for my family. I come from a family of blue collar people, factory workers. Everybody bet horses. That's just what they did. We lived close to the track. It was a big deal. You had the Central Block Party back then. Everybody would get
Central Block
it was
Party was
big.
awesome.
It was. I'll never understand why they shut it down.
It's like
but,
Panama City
yeah,
on Broadway.
it was. It really was. And it was on the Central
All right.
Avenue,
Yeah.
which was right beside the track. And
Well,
you-
actually, Central was before it went to Broadway, right?
but yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's two different events. I could get into that too, but I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of on Broadway.
Yeah, no, that's
That
an
was
event.
that
That's
was
an
wild,
event.
son.
That's
They used
an
to
event.
cruise Broadway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cruising Broadway, and
it
it
was
was
a
like cruising Panama City. There was no rules.
Well, a lot of people wondered why because they shut Central Block Party down. They said it got wild or whatever.
No rules, Anthony.
But they said that
Zero rules.
But that's a lot of people questioned why they shut that down and they didn't shut Broadway down because Broadway went on for years after Central Block Party did. So that was big as a kid. You would see that. But the biggest thing for me was, I always knew it was a time to make money. We didn't have a lot of money growing up. We weren't poor, but we were working class poor. It was a time that I could make money because I lived close to track. And my parents didn't want to park cars. My older brother didn't. I'd buy my older brother out for like $30, which I loved it. Here, I was always like, I understood that was good value. Like if he's not going to be a partner in this and I just give him $30, I end up getting my dad to help me take down the fence and I'd stuff cars in there. Dude, at Derby time, this is back late 80s, early 90s. I'd make them 2 days. By the time we were done hustling, $1,000 bucks. And this is just a kid, dude. I'm
Shit,
talking about
late $80s, $1,000.
Dude,
it was
a
about
lot.
$5,000.
And guess
Dude,
what? It went all to
and when you're a kid, you probably thought you had 50.
dude, I did.
Fucking rich.
And I went to the car shop with a lot of it, but
Yeah.
we would park cars. Okay. But it was always like my parents would be grilling out, my grandma and them come over. Like everybody was you could feel the energy. People start showing up and you could just feel the energy.
You can.
But I'm up on Taylor trying to bring them in because that's what I'd have to do. I'd have to go out there, bring them in. Somebody'd end up stealing them from you, but you just go back and get another one. It was next man up. Those spots were worth $20 a piece. And so once you filled up, you go get wagons and you pull people's stuff. Like it was a hustle all day long.
Yep.
And it was just a special event for us and in my family. And it's always been a big deal. And it's definitely been my grandma died a couple years ago and she was just always a big part of it with us. And when my grandmother retired, I think we went to the track the year she retired from Philip Morris, probably 5 straight years. We were there almost every day. She'd wait for me to get off the school bus and we just walk onto the track, son. But just good times, man. But Derby's always had a special place in my heart. And I also met my wife at Oaks. So Derby and Oaks are pretty important to me.
All right. Well, before we get on, y'all going to take a shot? We're taking a shot.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
I'm pulling out some good bourbon, too.
I'll take a half a shot.
Half a shot. We do some Blanton's Gold, baby.
Oh, I like Blanton's. I like
Pulling
Blanton's.
out the good stuff.
I like the
Pulling out
Blanton's.
the
Charlie
stuff.
got some boxes of that some years back, didn't you? Have some? You got some buys. I got a couple bottles of Blanton's at home. I don't got the gold. Oh, what's the gold? Is that better?
Better be. Those.
Like, we might just shut this bitch down. we might
Bitch
get us some
over,
rides
baby.
home.
Hey, it is
If Josh
Derby.
didn't have to go to work, we'd be in bad shape.
It's Derby week. We are and look, the Blantons with the horse, Blanton's Gold. We're pulling out the good stuff.
That is good stuff.
So, when is the first time that you ever went to the infield? Did your parents let you go young? I think mine was junior year.
By myself was probably junior.
Yeah,
year.
by yourself.
Yeah,
by
junior
yourself.
year.
Did your parents take you to the Oaks or to
Yeah,
the Derby?
Yeah.
No, we went to the infield as a kid, like 6th, 7th grade. When
Bush and Regina's wild,
a lot
son.
of people brought their kids back then.
My dad and mom took me to the Indy 500 infield when I was like 5 months old.
That's pretty cool.
I got a quick infield story about my 2 knucklehead brothers and my mom. Okay. So this is probably
1974 Derby glass too.
So we're in the middle of the infield on Oaks, okay? My brothers, me, and there's these girls, okay? All they're flashing.
Anthony didn't even cheers us.
He already drank it?
Well, just fake cheers us then.
Yeah.
Fake cheers us. Derby, baby, Derby. Was it smooth? I know you don't. I haven't drank.
I'm not a drinker, you know that, but I'll drink on Derby. I'll be drinking
Was
Derby.
it smooth? I bet
Yeah.
it better be smooth. There's probably a couple $100 bottle of bourbon here.
That's good.
Bland's is good. Bland's good.
Dude, I haven't drank bourbon in like 6 months. That's just not even hard, dude. You don't even drink bourbon, do you? That's pretty easy.
It was
ain't
good.
it?
It was easy.
We might sit here and drink this whole bottle.
But
Won't
we're
be good.
but we're in the middle of the infield and there's these girls flashing, right?
No.
So these
How old are you at this point?
No, I'm probably I might be 30. You know what I'm saying? So I was probably late 20s.
I remember seeing my first tit.
So these girls would walk through, all right, in these tank tops and stuff. And I see my brothers over there, and everybody, it's not just my brothers. I mean, there's, several hundred people, and they're going, go, 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 go. And then the girls would flash.
Did you know what was going on at this point?
Yeah, I just knew what was going on. I mean, I wasn't being a pervert or nothing. It's just what was happening.
Yeah, that's Derby infield,
It's right in the middle. Dude, me and my mom come walking up. My brothers and this group of guys look at my mom and go, go, go.
Did Regina do it?
No, Chad, my damn brother's leading the charge here. I was like, trying to make my mom a degenerate infield.
Woodstock 1968.
That's great.
Oh, so funny.
So when's your first time in the infield by yourself? Like junior, about the same time?
It's probably, dude, you were with me. Now, you had to be younger.
The mud?
Yes. Yeah.
That was my junior year, Oaks. Probably still.
I was there. Mud year.
Probably still.
So maybe that was 99 for me then.
That was when me and Bickett and Todd Hoskins got kicked out, remember?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Were y'all in the mosh pit the mud year?
Hey, here's what's funny is they were dragging him into the mud. They're pulling Winkle away into the mud. He does like this before cell phones. And he hands me his wallet because he knows he's about to go. So I had his wallet while he's just dumped in the mud.
It was probably my wallet and my two-way pagers. Right. Me and Will had them two-way pagers, dude. We were texting in 99, dude, before even anybody knew what texting
Well, I'll say this. I didn't know you guys did, but I guarantee you I was within 10 feet of you.
It was 98 Oaks, and it was a absolute mud pit. The thing that pissed me off the most was that I had a brand new hat on that I had just got. It was just like it was a baseball hat, but it was like I bought it that week and it got pulled into the mud and destroyed. I was so pissed about that hat. But dude, it was probably the funnest day of my life.
Yeah.
That day was awesome. I ended up in the mud, which sucked. But once I was in the mud, it was all good.
Everybody was in it.
It was all good.
Yeah.
I ended up making out with some like 25-year-old lady at the time. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
I don't even.
She might have been 30.
Seriously, dude. She was a grown woman.
Yeah.
She was a grown woman.
She had children. She
definitely had children. She definitely had children. And then Bickett, and it's crazy that because I talked to Bickett about this maybe like 2 years ago for the first time in like 25 years. And he tried to blame it on me. Him and Toskins were fighting people. I was just standing around because I was muddy and they were muddy. We weren't even by the mud at this point. We were over by the bathrooms and they started fighting somebody. Who fought in high school? Me or Toskins and Bickett?
Right.
They were fighting and they got snatched up. And because I was with them and muddy as fuck, I got thrown. Dude, they threw us on the back of the golf cart.
Yes, I remember y'all riding away.
People was cheering on us. We was like, I was on the back of the golf cart facing away from the driver, and I think it was me and Bickett, and we're like, fuck him. It was like a security guard driving, wasn't a cop or nothing. We're like, fuck him. They're like, yeah. Then we went to Aunt Spam's.
Yes.
And me and Bickett get in the shower together with our boxers because we are literally from head to toe in mud. And Aunt Spam's like, y'all gotta get cleaned up. Dude, I slipped in the tub, fell out of the tub, busted my fucking head, dude.
Aunt Spam was used to that shit. So.
She lived like right by the track. We walked there.
Charlie, you ain't the first person that's ever done that. Aunt Spam
I don't know why this memory just came to me, but that was the year Real Quiet won.
Was it?
I think so.
Real Quiet? Was that 98, Anthony?
Sounds about right.
It does.
Because Bickett is being escorted out on a golf cart, and he's going, he's real quiet, but I'm real loud. As he's getting escorted off the property.
Do you remember Real Quiet's rival that finally got him at the Belmont?
Who was that?
Victory Gallup.
Yep.
Victory Gallup. Came up short in the
Who was the jock on Real Quiet?
Real Quiet, Kent DeSormo.
Yep.
Victory Gallup was Gary Stevens, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah. So that's the infield memories.
Yeah, the infield, if you don't know, was a madhouse. It doesn't seem to be like that anymore.
Because they used to let you bring coolers and stuff in.
They incorporated it. Like what they're doing, like it's awesome over there. It's beautiful. If you would take the pictures of the two, I would prefer the other. But if you would have took the pictures of the one from the 90s, it was, if you want to call it white trash, rough around the edges, whatever you want to call it, blue collar, son, it was a wild place to be, and I would choose it 10 times over 10 over
It was
what's
just the
there
typical
now.
90s, though.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how the
right. That's
90s
it. Yes.
90s was just
Yeah.
like
I'm
that.
trying to think. I'll go not off topic, but I
People
think
would
I had the last good run in the infield. It was probably like 2017. When did Kevin Knox play for Kentucky? Because he signed on Derby Day.
Like that year.
2017. I
Like
don't know who
that
won.
year.
That was at Nyquist, or I don't know who won. But it rained that morning, okay? And my friends from Columbus came in, Brooke and Lee, and we were going to go to the infield. We had Chad's owner's passes, okay? And I had 2 of them. And normally 2 passes will get like up to like 8 people in, like
Yeah.
during the year.
Yeah.
So there's 4 of us. We show up with 2 passes, and we're trying to get into the infield. Dude, we got gin. They still let you bring stuff in, but we had gin and vodka in water bottles. We sealed them up. We brought our mixers, and then we had beers. All right, we were just going to stuff all over our bodies. Okay, dude. Right before we go, it starts pouring down rain. Dude, I'm stuffing beers in my jacket. We put them in the chairs. We're like, they searched the chairs, and we're getting ready. We're walking up to the gate. Like I said, pouring down rain. Like Heather's got this big jacket on. I throw 2 beers just in the hood of her coat. All right. And we go in, they check, they start pulling everything out. For some reason, the roof is leaking on the table, okay, where they're checking our stuff. He pulls out the chair like halfway. I said, hey, man, dude, my chair is getting all wet. And he closes it back up. We had like 8 beers in each chair. All right.
Hell
So we
yeah.
make it in, and they're wanding Heather, and it's getting the beers in her hood. But she has 2 hoods. They're like, dude, what is this? And I was like, Heather, just keep going. It's raining. Let's get inside. And they were just, all right. So
Josh was a salesman.
so now it gets better.
Mother Nature helped him out.
Oh, yeah. So now we get up to like security, or like where you scan to get in. And I have 2 passes, but 4 people. And they scan them like, hey, these are only good for 1 person. And I was like,
it's
man,
raining. Let me in.
hold on. I said, I lied. I said, man, we were here yesterday and all 4 of us got in. I said, what's the big deal? And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't let all 4 of y'all in with these 2 passes. And I see this guy over there. He's in like a nice suit, sweater. He looked important. I said, hey, man, that guy looks important right there. Can I talk to him? And she's like, yeah. And she waves him over. I said, hey, man, we came yesterday and let all 4 of us in with these 2 passes. I got my friends here from Columbus, Ohio. Now I got to, get tickets. He's like, man, I'm sorry. They shouldn't have done that yesterday. I said, all right. I said, can I let all my stuff in real quick with the ladies? And then me and my buddy will go buy tickets and we'll come back in. He said, man, that's great. Let the ladies get underneath the covers and get all your stuff and come back in. So we walk out.
Just keep walking.
And my buddy Lee goes, what are we doing? I said, we're just going to go to a couple gates down. We just went to a
Use
couple.
the owner's pass again?
Yeah, it wouldn't scan anymore. But he's like, I don't know what's wrong with these. Like, I don't know, man. There's 2 of us, 2 passes. He's like, all right, man, go on in. Then I went inside and we found our spot. And so I had all these beers, and we parked up behind a vendor, and he had a big old pile of ice. I said, hey, man, you got a garbage bag? He's like, yeah. I said, can I have one? He's like, man, I don't know. I said, what about a bag of ice? I said, if I give you $20, can I have a bag of ice and a garbage bag? He's like, I guess. So he hands me a bag of ice and a garbage bag. Put all my beers in a garbage bag, had a little makeshift cooler. The final scam for Josh Onan at the Oaks, 2017.
But back before that, they just let you bring coolers in.
Yeah.
Then they stopped, and now it's basically like you can bring drinks in, but you can't have a cooler. Can't
Right.
have ice.
And it was fun because I remember the preparation that went in to try to sneak it in. I
Mhm.
remember guys going out there like a week before trying to bury their stuff and then digging it up. I remember the sandwiches getting wrapped and,
Yep.
sticking the pints inside of them. It was fun to kind of,
Hide stuff in watermelons
Yeah,
and everything else.
I got a couple great stories, and I'll make it quick. The one is probably one of the greatest moments of my life. And I'm not talking about me and my wife meeting at Oaks. But, same deal. I went through the same thing y'all did. We did the stamps, okay? So we would have one person we would see the stamp and we'd get markers, okay? And so we'd see the stamps. Well, you get hot, the stamp would smear. Like if you would leave, they'd give you a stamp, you come back in on it. Well, it'd hide, it would smear. That naturally would happen to anybody, whether you had a legit stamp. We'd get the color of the stamp, we'd get the Sharpie's markers kind of draw it, and we'd smear it
Mhm.
and then just, hold it up. That kind of worked for us. That was our hustle. I always say, how old was I when I went? I would do all that hustling, making money, but then towards the end of the day, when I was really young, we would go to the infield every year, but it was right after the Derby and Oaks, they would let you in for free. So
Mhm.
usually I was watching the Derby and Oaks from a TV that was close to the track, and my dad would take me up there and we'd go in the last. But I'm probably similar to y'all that when I first went by myself, maybe a little earlier than y'all, maybe like freshman year or sophomore year where it was like I had my freedom,
Mhm.
like, nobody was with me. But the coolest story I ever had, I can still remember this like I was yesterday. I'm 15, 16 years old. I'm a boy. I was even a little bit of a late developer. Well, I had my buddy. Let's go to Deja Vu on Oaks Night. Deja Vu, for people that don't know, was a very popular strip club that sat right by the racetrack. On Derby night, that place was packed. I mean, it was packed. It was
You
the
can walk from the track to there in like 5 minutes,
Yes.
maybe
It
10.
burned down.
Depending on how drunk you are, it might
Yeah.
take you 10 minutes.
It burned down. R.I.P. Deja Vu.
Nothing but fun.
Yes, we
Is
should
the whole
have that
building
boo too.
gone?
What?
Is the whole building gone?
Yeah, it burned
Yeah,
down
it's gone.
hard.
Yeah, it's
Lightning
gone.
hit it. They had
Yeah.
video of it and everything. It
Yeah.
wasn't no insurance job or nothing. Like they had legit video.
Mhm.
I thought about opening the boo too.
The
because
Boo too. I like that.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
anyhow, my buddy said, dude, I had a little bit of a baby face. I said, these dudes ain't let me in here, dude. I'm about 14 or 15. And he said, come on, let's just do it. Let's just do it. And there was like 3 of us buddies. And we go up there. I just know they're going to send us pack. And I'm like 15 years old. No, sir. We got in. We got a seat. And I had about $400 in my pocket. And and that was more money than it is now.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know that I knew as soon as I sat down and I kind of figured out what was going on, and like these girls come around, they dance for you for money and stuff. I knew within like 5 or 10 minutes I wasn't going to leave with money. Like I accepted that in my head. You got to keep in mind I was 15 years old. These were women. These weren't little girls. These were women. And me and my buddy had to, the girls as they went up on stage had to walk right by us. I'd never maybe in a magazine or maybe a movie. I never these women were just coming by me, just titties flopping. I'm just like, dude, I know I had to be like mouth just dropped, and me and my buddy sit close to each other, so they had to kind of squeeze to us, and we thought that was the greatest thing in the fucking world.
So did you leave with any money?
So here's the story. So no, I didn't, and I knew that we would never be in there
Did you
again.
get a dance?
All kinds of them. $400 worth. I my buddy borrowed some money from me, so probably about $300. But I knew that we weren't going to be allowed back in. Some reason I just dude, this is only a one night thing. They're stupid crowded. They just don't care tonight.
Mhm.
And I said, it's going to be about 3 or 4 years till I come back in here, even though I look forward to it. But I learned a lot about life that night. But I did. I'm telling you, honestly, I learned a lot about life. My dumb ass buddy made sure that didn't happen. Because, you go on Deja Vu, they had all the little souvenir cups. He's 15 years old. He takes them all home, showing them off to his mom and shit. His mom calls up there.
Oh,
my
shit.
God.
Oh,
Dumbass.
she's a dark.
Dumbass, dude. If you're listening, Ryan, you know who I'm talking about. Come on, dude. Don't kiss and tell. It's like if
Yeah.
you get the teacher, don't say nothing, Great. Hey, you got to think 15 years old, boys. That was a great night, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great night.
I guarantee it. So we was all about the same, right? Somewhere around in high school.
Yeah.
So the Oaks day was definitely my most fun that I've had at the track. Anthony's, I guess, most fun was at Deja Vu.
We have to do a strip club story episode one day.
Yeah.
I got 2 good ones.
I got a couple things.
I got 2 good ones.
I got some.
Blitz After Dark.
There you
I
go.
love it. That's funny.
That'd be a summertime show.
Yeah. 18 and over. Can we do that little
Yeah.
thing on there?
Yeah.
18 and over. Yeah.
Everybody knows all the celebrities usually show up at Derby. They always have. Have y'all ever met anybody at Derby? You ain't gonna meet them in the infield.
But
Did
go ahead.
you?
I'll let y'all go.
So you got one. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
saw somebody. Now that I say that, I actually did see somebody very random in the infield. But who have you met? Any interactions? Have you get to talk to anybody? Josh, what do you got? Who'd you see in the infield?
In the infield, remember when they first put the boxes in the infield?
The seats?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they were like suites almost, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. And it's been a long time ago, man. And I'm gonna show how long it is with the person that I name here. Okay. Ricky Waters.
I remember him.
Bro, I saw that was mine.
What?
I swear on my life.
Ricky's seen everybody.
I am not even lying. I swear on my life. I was there the same year and I saw Ricky Waters too.
Bro,
my
Ricky Ryan.
How fucking great. Were we together?
I thought it was with Josh Rice. but he was in the infield.
I saw him in the infield too.
Maybe it was me and you together.
Ricky Waters.
Notre
He had
Dame,
the gold-
right?
He had a bunch of
Yeah, and the Eagles.
Yeah,
Did he go to Notre Dame?
he had
I
the
think he
gold-
went Notre Dame.
he had
Did
the
he go to
gold
Notre Dame?
rings on.
I can't remember, but
Yeah.
I remember seeing him like,
Yeah.
this is Ricky Waters.
Yeah,
He was good.
Just so random.
he was standing in line to get into those infield suites. It was like one of the first years I think they did them.
Ricky Waters was out there partying, son.
Yeah.
He said, hell with the dumb shit over there. He said, I'm out here.
Yeah,
Hell
that's funny. So is that the only one you got?
From the infield, yes, from the infield. But early years of doing the fundraisers for basketball, there were times where I told you we would deliver food from the main spot where all the food was stored up to different vendors, different concession stands throughout Churchill Downs. And there were a couple times they sent us up to the 4th, 5th floor, Millionaires Row. I don't know if we were in Millionaires Row, but we was up there. One year I saw Dave Thomas, which is
The
totally
Wendy's
random.
guy?
Yes, the Wendy's guy. I know that's random as hell. Tubby Smith up there.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a handful of them up there. We got to walk through I want to say it was Millionaires Row, but that was really cool. Dave Thomas was cool as shit to me.
That's
I know
awesome.
that's random.
That's-
Some of y'all
that's
young
a
ones
good
don't even know who Dave
Was
Thomas
Wendy
is.
with him?
That's Wendy's dad.
Was Wendy with him?
No, I didn't see Wendy, but I
Okay.
did see
She was the
Dave.
red-haired girl, right?
Yeah, Freckles,
I
country
did see-
girl.
I did
Oh.
see Dave, but those were at the track. I've seen other people walking around. I saw Wes Welker one year.
Yes.
Everybody's seen him. Remember when they overpaid him
Yep.
and he was giving everybody the money
Yeah.
and then the track wanted the money back?
I
He
saw
said,
him
"No."
that-
He said, I'm not getting, no, he said, no. And I don't blame him. I
Yep.
would not give it back. You may, like, you cash my ticket, dude. Whatever.
I
Like,
saw him walking around that year. He didn't give me any money.
Did you heard the stories though, didn't you?
Yeah,
He was like handing out money.
He was handing $100 bills to everybody that walked
Yeah,
by.
He didn't give me any.
I think the
but-
track overpaid him like $10,000 or $20,000.
Yeah, it was like 7. They talked about it on the radio this week. He was supposed to get 42, and they paid him like 57.
Yeah.
My coolest story, Derby, is not at the track. It was down at 4th Street on maybe Oaks night, Thursday night. It was probably early 2000s. I can't remember which bar it was down there. Your brother, Chad, might have been with me this
No
day.
way, it wasn't. Yeah.
That's right. No way. And Anthony was probably 10 feet away from us somewhere and
Probably
didn't even
was.
know
I
because
probably
he
was. I'm
loved
gonna tell you
4th
what.
Street too.
I'm gonna tell you what, when I turned that age, that the only person I didn't even really know your brother, but I just knew him from the area. Like I knew he was like at the time. And then I got to know him a little bit just down there. Didn't even know him by like name. We just knew each other and he kind of knew I was from that part of town too. And so we just, but he was the only person I know that went down there more than I did. I think he had me beat. Like I think he was down there more than what I was.
Well, he worked down there.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, he worked at Hard Rock.
Okay.
So he would leave Hard Rock. He would have a change of clothes in his car.
That makes
And
sense.
he would get off at Hard Rock at 10 o'clock, and he'd already be there.
It made sense because I got addicted to that place
They
for
called him
about a
Cheetah.
year.
Because he go to Red Cheetah, they called him Cheetah Chad.
Yeah.
So we were in one of them, and Cuba Gooding Jr. is hanging out, like literally just like 5 feet from us. We start talking to him. He sits down at the table, and I probably had like a 10-minute conversation.
That's
with
cool.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Cool as
A conversation. That's cool
dude.
shit.
10 minutes, just
That's
sitting
cool.
at a little high top table.
That's cool.
He was by himself. I don't remember even anybody. I'm sure he wasn't by himself, but it wasn't like he was with any other celebrities. The most down to earth, cool dude, Cuba Gooding Jr. So shout out to him.
The conversation I had, which I really value a lot, I'll value it for the rest of my life. And it was maybe a 10-minute conversation. And we were walking to our cars. It was might have been Derby week. I think it was Derby week. I think it was like one of these Mondays or Tuesdays. Towards the end of the day, everything was let out. And I was walking out to wherever I was walking. Wherever I was walking, I ended up following him. I just told him I was going his way because we were having a conversation. And I didn't care where it ended. I'd walk to my car at the end. But y'all know I'm a big horse racing guy. I've told you the story. And I hooked up with Gary Stevens. And he was talking. And we got to talk horses for 10 minutes, man.
That's cool.
And that was, for me, that was super cool. And just like Cuba Gooden, like some of those guys, I frown upon like talking, they don't want to be bothered. Dude, he was super, super nice. He seen that I was knowledgeable and he was talking to me like he was talking to one of his buddies about horse racing. And for somebody that's a horse racing fan, Gary Stevens is a top 5 rider of all time and just classy. And that was really cool. But the coolest one I had, we had filled up our cars at our house with cars. We probably had parked 4 or 5 down the road in the neighbor's house that wasn't home. And then it went to wagon. Then it was wagon time. Then you're trying to pack shit for people. Okay. So then you got your wagon. It's a total hustle. You're trying to pack stuff. Hey, you want me to pack this? And, they do it for you. You're a kid. And not to get off subject, but we left the track the other day, and these kids, they were just kind of like wanting money. When I was young, dude,
Right.
like it was hustling time. I was ready to work, dude.
Something
I had a
out of water or
wagon.
something.
Like, dude, I would get that wagon together a week out. Like I knew as soon as cars loaded, we were going to make more money. I forget what had happened. Maybe my grandma was watching my cars for me at the time, and I got somebody that had like parked with us, and they said if I carried their stuff to the track, which only like a 5-7 minute walk, they'd give me like an extra $30. So my grandmother watched it. And I took that wagon up to the track. I'll pull your stuff. This is back when everybody had stuff. So I pulled it in the wagon. And when I got to the track, right in front of me just right there on Front Street, a limo comes up where they're dropping them off. And Sylvester Stallone came out. And I was a huge Rocky fan. We're talking probably early
It's fucking
90s.
Rambo,
Like,
son.
yeah. I said, Rocky. And he did like something like that. It was cool as shit, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Fucking met Rambo.
I didn't have no conversation, but he did.
I saw
But
it.
he did
He
acknowledge me.
acknowledged you.
No,
Yeah.
he did
Yeah.
acknowledge me. Yeah.
All right. Well, what about Derby winners? Have y'all? I think I've only had 2, and one was last year. I had Sovereignty last
2,
year.
and one of mine last year, and both of them were. I've almost always bet like longer shots in the Derby because I look for value, and the 2 ones that I feel like 2 of the ones that I picked that were favorites, then were like my 2 winners. Always Dreaming ended up going off. It wasn't a big favorite, but she was like 4-1, which is a favorite for a Derby, and then or 5-1, and Sovereignty last year. I like Grande, but Grande got scratched. I thought Grande was going to be a really good horse.
I liked Grande too.
Well, guess what? Grande is a really good horse. He's in one of the big races in the undercard. Grande ended up being a stud, son. Grande's good. Grande's really, he had them injuries and stuff. Grande ended up being a good one, so I was on a good horse there. But I'll tell you, 2, but my best winner was this. My best winner ever. Todd Pletcher was kind of getting just going. He's one of the top trainers now, but he had been going, but he was just kind of getting going. And he had 2 horses in that race. He had one that was longer odds than the other one. Was he Thunder Gulch or was that Lucas Thunder Gulch? I don't remember, but he had his second horse was Congaree. And Congaree was like 50-1, son. And he ended up being my horse. No. I take that back. Congaree was Badford's horse. He was like a 3rd or 4th choice. Invisible Ink was Pletcher's horse. He was like 50-1. He got second, but Monarchos beat him. But if people remember, Monarchos should have been brought down that race. There was an inquiry and everything on that winner. And he definitely,
because I had Invisible Ink too.
he definitely came over. But that was my biggest winner, even at just placing at 50-1. He paid some stupid money to place, and I had him to place. Like I'd played win, play, show, and I had I think I had the exacta. I didn't have the winner, but being 50-1, I think a 50-1 second place is better than a 5-1 winner. So that's my take.
Gosh, who you had?
I picked 2 in a row. I had Mind That Bird.
How
That's
the
a
hell did you
bomb.
have
Was
that?
that your number 1 pick?
Yeah, that was the only horse I bet to win.
Okay.
I was with you when I won it. We watched it in the rain right outside of gate 10. It's pouring down. We watched it on a little bitty TV. And I look up, and that's the only reason I bet. I did like Burrell, but I didn't really like Mind That Bird at all. And I look up, and I seen this story on just like the number 8, how it's like the perfect number. It's the infinity sign, all this bullshit. And I just look up, and I got money left in my pocket to bet. I hadn't bet, it was so rainy, I really hadn't bet a lot. So I took all my money, and I bet a win and a place bet on Mind That Bird.
Well, that paid good. Well, he was like, what, 80? Was it
50-1, it paid 103. And I remember winning thousands. Not like a lot of thousands, but it was almost, I can't remember, but it was a lot.
That's a hell of a
And
winner.
then the next year, just because Burrell had won, I put Super Saver on top. And I hit the try for 1,100.
He was a favorite. Yeah, Mattress Mike bet him in one of his
I had
bets,
him,
or that
but
briefcase bet or whatever that was. They had him.
But I had Super Saver on top and a try, and I hit the try for like 1,100.
Do y'all remember when the guy on TVG really cool dude, black guy.
Yeah, Ken Rudolph.
He picked Giacomo. That was
Yes.
his number one pick, son.
Yeah.
He was on him
He was
hard.
on him early, dude.
He was on him.
Yeah, I got him in the.
He said, "That's my
I
horse."
got him
They
in
were
the
like
future.
laughing him off, son. Giacomo coming out there. Rudolph was pumped.
Dude, hey,
son.
Ken Rudolph used to chat with me on Twitter back in the day.
Ken Rudolph was man, dude.
Yeah, if you would, when he would post stuff on Twitter, I'd always respond, man, love your Giacomo video. Or we'd just sit there and talk horses, man. He'd sit there and talk travel baseball one day. I was like, it's wild, dude. He's really nice
He was
guy.
all over Jai. He wasn't, that was kind of his horse. That
it
was his horse. And that's kind of how I am. So I only have one top pick, and I make it very clear, because if he wins, if I win my bets, I win my bets. That's on my own personal book. But for my pride reasons, like people say they'll pick the winner. Well, they pick 5 horses. Like I pick 5 horses every year too, but I'll get down to one horse that I say, that's my Derby horse. Like I just think that's for bragging rights. You know, it's not even so much for ticket cash and just bragging rights. 2 Derby stories on tickets that I had were, the one that I came closest to winning, in my opinion, that it would have really paid me a lot of money. And I think he would have won, or it'd have been really close. The year Maximum Security came down, he actually, the horse he came over on was my horse. War Will was Cassie's horse. He was loaded.
Yeah,
when a horse is loaded, okay?
Mhm.
Because they're in tight. He was sitting about 3rd. It was opening up. He was sitting on a monster. And Maximum Security just came over on him hard. And as soon as the race was over, I told everybody before it ever come up, I said, there's going to be an inquiry. I said, he came over hard. And a lot of people was butthurt over that, but that was the right call.
I thought
it was. But probably about 3 or 4 Derbies ago, I wasn't with you, Charlie, but I called you on the phone, is when Seize the Gray won like the Pat Day Mile. Dude, I think I won like freaking $7,000 on the race. Remember that time I called you and told you I got it all? Charlie said, "What do you got?" I said, "I think I got everything." I did. I actually thought I was going to win more than 7,000. In my mind, I was thinking like 12, 13, but I was happy with $7,000.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, that's how I was last year.
Yeah.
I had Sovereignty as my winner, and I was so excited about that. It was about 3 or 4 minutes later, I tell Anthony, dude, I got the try and the super. Remember?
Yeah.
And it took forever for them to post the fucking payouts.
Yes.
And me and Anthony is just debating on how much I'm about to get.
Because it's a big field.
Dude, I thought I didn't know what I was, but I thought it was going to be something good. It paid like $1,200.
It was the top 3 horses, though. I mean, it was the 3 horses everybody was talking about, but it was still the Derby. Like, it's hard to hit that exotic in the Derby. Tell them about your one story, Charlie. I think that's a cool story.
What's that?
I know you probably don't want to talk about how much you bet on it, but like
the Hot Rod Charlie.
So Charlie calls me. He said, "I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to let you say it. I'm just going to set the stage." He calls me. He said he's having a good day. He's up. You can tell he's drinking it. I talked to him between races. He said, "I'm just letting it, something like I'm letting it ride or something on Hot Rod Charlie." You go ahead with the story.
I mean, I made the biggest bet I've ever made. I will leave out how much I bet, but it was the biggest bet I've ever made by probably double, at least double. And man, he coming to the top of the stretch. He had a shot. I think he finished 3rd, right?
I'm going to put it this way.
He had a shot.
I'll put it this way. I was watching it. I knew Charlie had it. I liked where Charlie was. Like, you can watch a horse race. Man, he's looking good. He's in good position.
I tried to hedge at the top of the stretch. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I thought, dude, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't have traded, if I was you, I wouldn't have traded spots with nobody. I thought Hot Rod Charlie looked like he was going to be able to, him and that other horse, whoever it was, I thought them were the 2 that was going to, finish the race or whatever. So
yeah, that was, I was having a good year at work that year. I was up, I think, all week. And yeah, I let it ride.
And you were drinking too.
And I was drinking. And I let it ride. But look, it was fun. It was, it would have been something like I ain't never experienced.
Like Dave Portnoy said, what he said about his Oaks horse, he said, at least I hope maybe I'll get a holler in the stretch. So you got you a holler in the stretch?
I got some hollers in the stretch.
I'll be honest with you, y'all laugh, but I'm kind of that way. Like, if I go to the track and lose, it's whatever. I've lost plenty of times. But I want some damn stretch battles.
I know.
I don't want to be in the back the whole time. I want to be using my whip. I want to be that program.
Yep.
I don't even care if I lose the photo finishes. I want to be in the photo finishes. I want to be in the damn race.
That's the thrill of it.
Yeah.
My only other Derby winner was Animal Kingdom. And that's crazy because Animal Kingdom was like a turf horse. But I don't even know why I had him.
I'm still mad that I didn't bet it because right before the race goes off, we're watching it on TV. And Battaglia, that was his horse.
Animal Kingdom.
He picks I was like, that's the first time I've heard that name all week.
He was,
And I
he
should
was a
have went
turf
through.
horse.
I should have went and threw
Turf
25 on it. Was it John Velasquez on it?
Leper? No,
No,
yeah.
Leper ain't never won a Derby.
Did he not? Okay. I know he came from Turfway, the synthetic track, or was it synthetic at the time? I know he came from that. He had that turf breeding. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's,
so we've all got 2.
So I'll tell you a story on Animal
40-something.
Kingdom. First thing, I don't want to tell a story like it was a close win for me, because it wasn't, because Animal Kingdom dog walked him. He won that race impressively. But top of the stretch, I had a pick 4, pick 5 going, I forget. And it was the last leg, and I needed Nero. I think he was out of AP Indy. It was the pick 4 was going to pay like $3,400, and that was probably like $10,000 to me now. Like, I was younger, it was a lot of money, and it was the last leg of the pick 4. Top of the stretch, I felt like I was in a pretty good spot, but Animal Kingdom ended up just kind of going off. So it really wasn't no race down the lane. But I needed Nero, if you remember. That's who got second in that race. But I needed Nero, and I just remember watching Animal Kingdom striding out. I 30, son of a. You know how it is.
What about Derby upsets? We were going to kind of mention that. Josh had one of them with Mind That Bird.
Yeah,
he's one of the
Hell of a
biggest
upset,
ones.
dude.
He's one of the biggest ones. I don't know who. I mean, we all know Mind That Bird. We all know
He's a pretty good horse, though. He backed it up. He came back and was it the Belmont Preakness? He got second in. So he backed up his form. Like, he wasn't just a bum. It wasn't a one-hit wonder. When we think of one-hit wonders, as me and Josh was saying earlier, nobody tops in our lifetime Rich Strike.
Just barely got in, right? Barely got in a couple days before.
Also eligible.
I don't even. There's probably 75% of the people didn't even look at that horse in the program.
I'll tell you this: if you ever want to see what cheating looks like in horse racing, I'm serious. YouTube Kentucky Derby Rich Strike winner. Okay, when they cross the finish line, keep watching. Keep watching. So as Donna Barton or whoever it is goes to interview him, as they do, she goes up to the rider. She can't have a conversation with the jockey because the horse is going crazy. And the camera's starting to catch it. They're starting to kind of focus in on what's going on here. The horse tries to bite the outrider, which is the guy that comes and gets the horse on his horse, and is trying to bite the horse and the outrider. The outrider is fighting the horse, fighting for his life, it looks like. As this horse is literally chomping at him, trying to bite him. He had a vein right here in his neck that you could see. It was like some steroid juice guy. He's sweating profuse, just crazy.
If you ever want to know what a horse with roid rage looks like,
yes, after a mile and a quarter race, they always say those horses are exhausted. Like first time running a mile and a quarter, like exhausted. Wasn't none exhausted about Rich Strike, that 100-to-1 horse that I could never figure and never ran in any kind of big race good again. Make it make sense.
Sonny Leone, greatest ride in the history of the
We're trying to explain this to
Kentucky
Charlie.
Derby.
When you got a freaking Ferrari supercharger, you can drive around to everybody.
Well, listen, I don't disagree with what y'all are saying, but as you go watch, and don't just watch the end of the race, make sure you pull up the overhead view, because I ain't never seen weaving in and out like Sonny Leone did. Was that his only Derby he's ever rode in?
Yeah.
Because you greatest jockey in Kentucky Derby
He came
history.
from Thistle Downs. You know why you never seen a closer like that? Because you've never seen that many cc's of steroids pumped into a horse before. They gave him too much.
So you're not giving Sonny Leone any credit for that ride?
Hell no.
No? Bro.
I could have rode that horse.
No way.
He was turbocharged.
I'm thinking he had so many drugs in this system that it just blew the test. They're like, there's no way this horse should still be alive with this amount of amphetamines in his system.
I bet you Sonny Leone had some of them. Baffert said that his horse got steroids in it because his groom had a steroid cream. He peed in the hay. Horse ate the hay. I bet you Sonny Leone got some of the juice in him through the horse.
He took balls.
Just from sitting on him?
Yes.
That's how much. Just from sitting on him.
Leaking out his pores.
Dude, he got a contact buzz from
that
steroids.
outrider can now bench 250 from when it bit him.
I'll never forget my brother, who don't watch horse racing that much, but he was looking at some horses one year, and it was the year Big Brown and Dutro. Big Brown had Dutro. Dutro was the trainer. Big Brown was the horse. He said, man, that horse, like, it's on steroids. It's just so much stronger looking.
It's bigger than everybody.
And I said, yeah, it does. He does look strong. He ended up wins the Derby. Ends up being a really good horse. Well, like later that year, Dutro got in all kinds of trouble, and word was out that Big Brown juiced. So my brother was right. He was juiced up, son. He was juiced up. But I don't think they quite gave him as much as they gave Rich Strike, dude. I'm surprised they didn't kill Rich Strike, dude. It's
He should have had a heart attack as he crossed the finish line.
God, it never gets talked about.
It don't, dude. I swear.
It don't.
Anthony was so excited when I brought that up. He's like, finally, somebody brought it up.
Yes,
I've been talking to the wall since
dude,
then.
I have, dude. Did you think that when it?
Oh, dude.
As soon as it happened, that's what I thought.
To me, too. I was like, that horse is coked out of his mind.
Yes,
and I'm over here wondering who the hell is this Sonny Leon guy, dude? He is
this one Dale's champ.
You
know, he actually after that race, he actually transferred down to the Gulfstream Jockey Colony, so it gave him an opportunity, to try to, because Charlie, you're right. A lot of people gave him credit for a good ride.
Sonny, I believe in you. If I ever have a horse in the Derby, you're riding.
I don't think he stayed down there too long, but I think he got in some opportunities down there.
All right, well, let's get into this year's Derby.
Yes,
we ran longer than we expected, as always. Time flies when you're having fun. And it's Derby week, baby. Yep. My mom just texted, said her flight might be early. So, yeah, we're going to
help pick her up?
Yeah, here in a little bit. She's not supposed to get in until about 11.
Oh,
so
okay.
We'll be all right. So, yeah, let's get into the Derby. Real quick, let's before we even get into our picks, how about a long shot? How about somebody that maybe you even kind of scratched out, but you're scared that you scratched them out because maybe they're a chance at a long shot. Y'all got any?
So my top picks are long shots. So do I need something longer than that?
I don't know.
No, just your
whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, it's your pick.
But they're going to be my top picks. So.
No, then somebody you scratched out that you're scared that you scratched out. Somebody that you're going to leave out of your bets, but you're I don't know if I should leave them out.
I got one.
What do you got, Josh?
When they drew the name out, I know nothing about this horse. Okay. And when it comes to the Derby, honestly, I don't do a whole lot of handicap. I don't ever claim to be a good handicapper, but I know how to do it. But when it comes to Derby, I'm playing lottery tickets a little bit. I'm betting my numbers because if my numbers don't ever come in on the Derby, on the supers and the tries I bet, I will kill myself.
Yeah.
So I'm a numbers guy. And that's how I've hit some of my Derby tries and stuff back in the day, is just betting my numbers. And even in other races, just betting my numbers. But
so what's your numbers?
I like 1, 3, 8, 11. And then I always bet my daughter's birthday as a super. But most of the time, I've only been able to bet it once because there's been scratches. Okay. So I always bet she's April 14th, 2016. So I always do a super with 4, 14, 16, 20. But a lot of times 20 is scratched or 16 is scratched before. So in her 12 years of life, I've only been able to actually make that bet one time.
So that's what you got for Caroline, 4, 16, 20.
Yeah, that will be a super that I do. But a horse that I like, and I just feel like this horse is going to screw me somehow because it was one of the first picks. We were watching the pill draw the other day for the post positions. For some reason, I liked number 17, 6-speed. I know I'm going to leave him off.
The European is. I mean, I know he was bred in Kentucky, but he's only raced in, where was he raced? Europe? Somewhere?
Yeah, he's overseas. He's an overseas horse. Got Brian Hernandez on it, but he's currently like 40-something to 1. But for some reason, that's a sneaky, stupid horse that I feel like is going to screw me somehow.
That's the only horse I didn't know nothing about.
I still know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry, but I will not in this race. I will never bet a non-American horse or a horse that hasn't raced the majority of their races in America. Anthony, do you ever bet those horses in the Derby?
I think so. I've never been the Dubai shippers. Okay. But now he brought a foreigner in America, but Japanese are getting close.
I agree.
Have you ever picked them, or will you ever pick them as your top pick?
Yes, I will now. I think
the Derby?
I think the Japanese are serious horses.
Yeah, I agree.
Sunday Silence got them started. We were at the Kentucky Breeders. We're too bougie for Sunday Silence. His bloodline wasn't white collar enough, wasn't blue blood enough, and so the Japanese says, "Hey, we'll take Sunday Silence," and they got their horse program started.
Forever Young was the only one I even liked.
Yes,
and I didn't bet him; he wasn't my top pick, but I did like that horse. First one and probably the only
he
one.
Came to money, right?
He should have won.
He
was the best horse.
Yeah,
he was the best horse.
Yeah, I had some. Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah,
that was a great year of horses.
Mm-hmm.
Like they ended up beating the tail off last year's group as they faced them in the Breeders' Cup because a lot of them stayed back. I ended up thinking Fierceness was the best, but Forever Young won some of the big races.
And he ran after the Derby and won some races.
All of them did. All of them did. Sierra Leone, Fierceness. That was a special group.
But yeah, I'm not in this race. This race is America's race. I'm not doing it. Not until it's almost like the Cleveland Browns or something. Until I see it happen, I won't believe it.
Well, who's yours that you're going to throw?
I got two that I kind of scratched out, and a lot of these I scratched out very easily. But there was two that I kind of held my breath when I did it. And look, they're long shots. I don't even know what their odds are. One is the 2-horse, that Albus horse. Just a sneaky long shot to me.
That's Mott's kid.
Yeah, had a good win to beat that Right to Party. What race was that? It was it was the Wood. And the other one was Golden Tempo, the 19.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't mind him.
I don't like
he's
him
a
at all.
dead
Closer. I could see why you're scared of him. If that horse gets the right pace, he could be dangerous.
It's got Ortiz on it too. Jose, not Irad.
Yeah, and Jose's, I think, I'm not looking at the program, but I want to say has ridden that horse basically every time he's ever raced, which I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I know I talk about that stuff like that with Anthony all the time. I don't know how important that really is when we're talking about all these guys being top jockeys, but I like the fact that same jockey on the horse. So yeah, I mean, Golden Tempo was in the Louisiana Derby. I think he got a little too far back on that. Then he got wide, and then he dove down to the rail. You remember that?
Yes.
That was
he wasn't that far back from him either, and that's emerging.
Dude, he wasted so much ground and still was on finished third by 3 lengths.
Yeah, but I will say it was a fast pace. But yeah, I like the showing. But he did get a fast pace to run at. But I didn't mind it. That's kind of why I say I don't think he's that bad.
Yeah, so those two, I probably won't bet them, and I'll probably leave them all the way out. But I do kind of worry about it. Anthony, you got any that you're scared to leave out?
Yeah, it's a bunch, but I'll highlight these two. I'm going to leave a couple of the favorites out. And of course, if you put a gun to my head, I'd take them because I think they're good horses. But I'm looking for value, so that's just how I play. But anyhow, the two that I thought serious about being my pick, one of them I thought really serious about, put them in my top 2 or so, but I didn't. And the other one I kind of did. The one I'm scared of, but I probably never was going to put him in mine, is the Pavlovian. He was the one actually in the Louisiana Derby that faced Emerging Market, the lightly raced horse there, and he ran a really fast pace up top, and he was still able to fight and almost win that race with the fast pace that he set. And he's been a totally different horse since they put blinkers on him and they've been more aggressive. They used to not ride him aggressive and let him rate. Well, they've been taking him to the lead. And ever since they've been taking him to the lead, I mean, he ran a stupid fast pace in that race. Louisiana Derby is the farthest prep. It's only like an eighth of a mile shorter than the Derby.
That was a battle coming down the stretch with them too. And that was the same race that Golden Tempo got way outside and dipped in. And them other two were dead in the middle of the track, just battling.
Yep. So he's one. But the one that I'm really scared of, but I'm not going to put him in my pick, is the Japanese horse. I'm just so
which one?
Wonder Dean. He's actually a Kentucky bred. He's out of
Mm-hmm.
Maxfield, which is a new kind of sire, and Maxfield's doing really well. So there was a girl on there, and she was crossing it over to the buyer numbers to give speed ratings, and his number came back really high on that race. The Japanese are winning big races all over the world right now, international races all over the world. They're doing things right. Of course, you've seen Forever Young win the Breeders' Cup Classic, and probably should have won the Kentucky Derby a couple years ago. I think the Japanese are kind of their training methods and stuff, they're working. So, I hope American people take notice because it wasn't too long ago, the Japanese didn't even have horses. I joked that they got started with Sunday Silence, but literally that's how they got started. I think 70% of all Japanese horses are related to Sunday Silence one way or the other. So, Wonder Dean is the other one that I threw out. But those international horses for me are such a wild card because I don't know how to rate them. I don't.
That's
know
what
how
I
to,
was just going to say.
It's hard.
Looking at the Japanese ones, I kind of thought that other one was the better horse, the Dan and Bourbon. He's 3 for 3 and has won by no less than 3.5 lengths. He won by 3.5, 5, and 10. But just like you said, I don't know how good these races are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You might as well just tell me their name because I don't even know how to read. I can't handicap.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I did like
I
that
don't know what
girl
I'm looking
crossing over the numbers. There's they have a crossover that these international people do, and she was able to cross over the numbers to give you something like a buyer number or a Brisbane number, which I like that. And his number came back really good in that last race.
So Dan and Bourbon 3 for 3. Wonder, is it the same trainer on those two horses?
No,
Is it not?
no.
You think they split airfare, bringing their horses over?
Probably.
Yeah,
Be
come on,
smart.
Yeah.
Well, How do y'all want to do this, guys? Y'all want to just make our picks? You want to do our top 3?
Let's start at number 3. You
Huh?
give your third,
Okay.
third,
Do our top 3?
Yep, and we start at third.
All right. Well, Anthony, you want to start it off?
I'll pass that to Josh.
All
Well,
right,
I just got to write mine down real quick. I know who
me
they are,
too.
but I just got to put mine in my order on D. Do you know who yours are, Josh?
Yeah, I got my 3 here. I'm
Start with number 3, and we'll just do
Okay.
it 3 at first. Charlie will do his 3.
my top 3, more of a long shot.
No. So you're just doing your 3, I think, right now.
Just number 3?
Just number 3.
All right, you're,
My third pick here, that this is, I'm probably gonna have a win bet on this horse. On who I like. I like Incredibolt, number 11.
Okay.
I got a big X next to his name.
That's fine.
He's hard.
I haven't hit a race since 2010. So
You know what? You know why I scratched him out? He has not raced against one Derby
he
horse.
had no.
He has not raced against
Nope.
any. And real quick before we jumped our picks, I meant to mention this when you mentioned Pavlonian. I know it's Doug O'Neill, but is it really Dwayne Lucas? That horse has raced 10 times already.
I know.
10 times it's Dwayne. It's got to be. That's
He's a cowbred too. That's why he's trying to think. There's cowbred money out there, and they're struggling like to have big purses out there. But there's certain races that have bigger purses against a little bit easier competition if you're a cowbred and you participate in them. So he's taking advantage of that cowbred money.
Yeah, 10 races, only one against Derby contenders. As soon as I seen the horse and I see his past performances were like this long, I immediately thought Dwayne Lucas running the shit out of this horse.
Look, there's a lot of people that believe that's, there's an old school way of thought that, that's how people ran horses for a long time. And there's a lot of people that's in the breeding world that thinks we're breeding horses to break down because we're not running horses as hard. So essentially we're breeding and producing weak horses. That Unbridled Song family is a great family of horses, super fast. Airgate was one of them. It's they're known to be super fast, but they also known not to be very sound. Like, they break down and they have a lot of injuries. So,
All right.
Josh's third is Incredibolt.
Yep.
Anthony, who you got third?
Third, I am going to take Renegade.
Renegade, rolling with the 1. I really liked Renegade. Possibly would have been my top pick, but I scratched him out. The 1 is a total scratch to me. I think Renegade is in his 2 wins this year, he basically had everything go his way. Perfect trip. Good luck with that in the Derby, and good luck with that in the Derby in the 1 hole.
And he did have everything his way his last race, but he exploded like a damn rocket.
I know he did. Looked great. Looked great. But guess what? Down on that rail, you have to have everything go your way. We saw who was the one last year. I liked the one last year. He got boxed in and was done.
Well, you got to do it. You got to either pull straight back. He's a death closer, so pull straight back, and then maybe start your move early. But you don't really want. You don't want to stay.
You want a slow pace. You want a fast pace.
But they do got a new gate now. They got a new gate now, which makes it better for the 1. It ain't like the old 1 post. That new gates. I know guy working on the track, but I've heard guys at the racing form and stuff say it's a totally different situation than what the 1 used to be. When you came out of that 1, you were almost trapped. You it was like
you either got to shoot to the front or just drop to the back.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to do that now.
But what you worry about now is everybody coming over and trying to get over on you is what you worry about. But if anybody can get him through that, Irad is the meanest, dirtiest rider in the game, and I don't think nobody's pushing Irad around down there, sons. But I'm with you. I think Renegade, him or Feather Ado. I'm not using Feather Ado, but I think they're the 2 wild horses coming into the race. So for me, it's a Renegade at number 3.
I call the 1 post the Cleveland Browns. I got to see it. I got to see it before I believe it.
I can respect that.
All right, my third. I'm a little toss up on my third, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a decision here, and I'm gonna go Chief Wallaby.
I know
Chief Wallaby worries me. I kind of.
He's probably 4th for me, 4th or 5th.
He might be my
same
be my top pick by the end of the week, but I think I've kind of closed in on my pick. It might change, but I'm worried about Chief Wallaby. I like the horse. He's adding blinkers. Me and Anthony talked about this. He was basically looking at all the hot women in the crowd.
He was.
What was that? The Florida Derby.
Yeah, and he had to go between. He was closing between horses, which is hard for you.
Or was it? There was the Fountain of Youth.
Both of them, he was pretty distracted.
The Florida Derby is the one where he had to split horses, and he was looking, but he had to move to the right.
Both
The jockey had to move him to
both
the right.
races, his head was on
The
both races.
Fountain of Youth for sure. He was out. He wasn't in between horses in the Fountain of Youth.
No, that was a
He
Florida
was,
Derby.
yeah, he was out there, and it looked like the jockey was trying everything he could to not get him to run to the right, and still, what he finished a close second to Commandment, which is one of the top horses. So I like Chief Wild.
Reminded me of Mind Frame in that Belmont there against Dornock. Dornock was the dirtiest fighter. He loved to fight. Like a horse come to him, he was a blue collar horse, and Mind Frame had so much more talent than him. But he would come to him, and Mind Frame be goofing around up there, his head thrown around.
Dornock was
and he was ready for a fight, and he beat him by like a nose. And you'd almost
that was the horse that got stuck on the one.
Yeah,
he got the Dornock I really liked, and then he got the one post.
Yeah.
All right, so second pick. You want to go backwards here? I'll go. I'll go. With
I know who mine
pick.
are now. So I'm well. I got 1A, 1B. I don't know. I got to pick 1-0, I guess. So.
I'm going with the Puma.
Okay.
I'm going with the Puma. A lot of good stuff that I liked about the Puma. Florida Derby, perfect trip. I thought he had a perfect trip, anyways. Just couldn't hold off Commandment again. Who is the favorite in this race right now?
It's been going back and forth between the Puma and Renegade.
Yeah,
Puma and Renegade.
Oh, has it really? I didn't know Puma was getting that.
Puma
I didn't either. What's his odds?
I would have guessed it was Renegade and Commandment.
There was a lot of money on him early today, but it may have switched. But Renegade's still the top.
Brother Dude's going to get some action too. He's going to get some top action. Brother Dude is, and you got I think your Chief Wallaby will be bet down a little bit too. But he's up there right now. Chief Wallaby is.
The Puma was dead last. And I know he's a closer, but he had a lot of ground to make up in that Tampa Bay Derby and ended up beating Further Ado.
I think it'll be Further Ado, Renegade. I think them are the two like they just got that race where they look wow, like
So he also beat Chief Wallaby in their maiden race. I look back on that maiden race that the Puma won, and he beat Chief Wallaby. So unlike some of the other horses that have only raced maybe one race or none against these horses, the Puma has been racing against. I mean, he's raced against Commandment. He was third to Renegade in that SF Davis. He's raced against Chief Wallaby a couple times. So seasoned horse. I like the Puma, and I like the name. That's a really cool name.
I do like the name.
And you know what else I like about the Puma? His color. And I never pay attention. I don't care about their color. But he's got that light brown. He's not like a real dark. He's like a light brown. Really pretty horse, dude. I like the Puma.
That's who my son Rex. That's his horse.
Castellano too, baby. Yeah. I don't know who is the trainer on the Puma.
So here's my only knock on the Puma.
Delgado.
And here's my angle. I'm not going to get too into it because this does go out to the internet. The trainer is a big time Florida trainer. Not big time, but he's been around the Florida tracks, and he's got a lot of connections at the Florida tracks, and maybe he can get some stuff done at Florida he can't get done in Kentucky. He's not going to be in the friendly confines of the Florida stewards. I'll say that. He's got to come, and he's got to go. He's got to race clean.
Some behind the scenes stuff.
That's right. And that might be totally dumb, but I think when you get those trainers that are kind of track specialists, I think it's hard for them to but I do like him. I think he's went up against some awesome competition, and my son likes him, so I'll probably be betting him too. He's definitely been right there with them top horses in Florida, and a lot of people think that's a good group down there. So we will see what the top groups are. This is very hard for me. This is very, very hard for me. The top pick, I really don't know yet, but I'm going to go ahead and pick one for the point of the show, and I'm going to
Well, did you do your number 2?
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know who I'm making my top pick.
Okay. All right, I got you.
So for the sake of the show,
catch a Puma.
It's going to be one of these. It's going to be one of these before the post time because I will settle on one. Right now, I'm going to say my number 2 is Bob Baffert's Patente, $2.4 million horse as a baby, was highly thought of. This is only his third or fourth race. He rated in the San Felipe, which is one of the preps for the Santa Anita Derby out there. And then going to the Santa Anita Derby, Bob actually had the favorite in Cherokee Nation, but he's a front runner. And he was the 1. And Baffert's Patente was the 2 right beside him. And I'm sure Baffert told him, because Patente wants to rate a little bit. He said, don't go out there and push him. You never ride for me again. You out there and push my horse on the lead. But Cherokee Nation didn't break at all. And so the 2 really didn't want the lead, but ended up on the lead. And I think that messes with the horse more than people think. And he had pressure up there on a lead that he didn't want. And he almost still won the Santa Anita Derby. And he had won the San Felipe right before that. and he's only raced like 3 or 4 races. I just think $2.4 million. They said he had the best work of the week. They said he was skipping across track. This is not Baffert. This is the DRF, guys. And they say he just looks absolutely great since coming to Kentucky. Some of those horses hate Kentucky. Some really relish it. They're different tracks, though, Santa Anita and Kentucky. So some move up, some move down. But as he might be my top pick come post time, but right now he's my number 2, Patante, if I'm saying it right.
Like
Dude, real quick, his win in the San Felipe was super impressive.
Yeah.
But I will say he's more of a speed horse. He won the San Felipe on a late run coming kind of from the back, and he's more of a speed horse. Then in the Santa Anita Derby, he gets on the lead and he couldn't hold it. So,
but that's what I'm saying. No, he didn't want the lead in that race. Cherokee Nation didn't break, and he just kind of you could see he wasn't even trying to get it, but that turn came fast, and he just kind of ended up there. Like it's I don't think he wants to be there, and I don't think Baffert's going to have him there in the Derby.
Nobody wants to lead in the Derby.
Yeah,
you don't want to lead in the Derby. But that does worry me a little bit, being that he's more of a speed horse than like a stalker or a closer. And it looked to me like he did better as like stalking. So we'll see. You're right, though. Nobody wants to get out in the lead in the Derby.
Yeah.
Even if you are a speed horse, don't be second or third, fourth or something.
I think in that Santa Anita Derby, is only like once Cherokee Nation and I think there was only 5 or 6 horses in the race, and once Cherokee Nation didn't break, there might have been like 4 horses. They were all solid horses, but they were 4 horses, and he just kind of ended up on the lead. And I do not think that's where he wanted to be. I think he had every intentions of letting Cherokee Nation even hustle back up after he broke bad, but he just never did.
Who you got second, Josh?
My second is Renegade. We don't have to talk about him again, but I read. I know it's the one spot. I bet the horse many a times at the one spot, and I've never won. So let's see what happens here.
Man, see, I really like Renegade. I'm so mad that he got the one post.
You want me to do my number 1 pick?
Yeah, go ahead. Who you got? Who's your top pick? Who's winning the Derby, Josh?
I got 6.
What's your favorite number, Josh?
My favorite number is 11. I will have a nice size bet on the 11 horse, but who I think
that's one of your that's your number.
Yeah, that's my number 3 is 11. But my number 1 here is I like Commandment 6.
Commandment.
Brad Cox horse. This is for my buddy. He knows Brad Cox, who passed away, so I'm going with Brad Cox.
That horse has won a lot of different ways. A lot of people like that. I do know that. He's definitely a good horse. I'm not using him, but he's definitely. I might use him in some supers and stuff.
Right, that's what I'm.
But he's really good horse. All these horses are good.
Who's your top pick, Anthony?
You know, I kind of came on this horse probably about a week ago. I hadn't been on him the whole time, but I'm going to go with very lightly raced emerging market. I'll tell you, just a quick rundown. Chad Brown is a very conservative trainer, one of the most conservative trainers in the country. I've seen him skip the Derby multiple times and just go to the Preakness. He says he takes a lot out of a horse. He's not the Derby freak that most people are. Like, he's just not. He's a New York guy. He's very professional, almost too professional, if you ask me. But he is a high-level trainer. Don't question that for a second. But emerging market, him and Paladin. Paladin scratched out of the Derby. He got hurt. But Paladin was one of the favorites.
It was Paladin.
Yeah.
Paladin's a beast. We're 3 for 3.
He was one of the favorites leading up to it. But when they started as 2-year-olds, there was 2 horses in his barn that he was just wow on. It was Emerging Market and Paladin. Well, Paladin ended up going on to be the Derby favorite, but Emerging Market and his filly that's in the Oaks, they both got pneumonia. And so that was a setback. And then once he got rid of the pneumonia, he had a foot injury that lasted a couple months. He literally missed his 2-year-old season. Okay, so then he comes this spring, and he still thinks he's got this crazy talented Candy Ride horse. That's his sire. That's super professional. He says he's one of the smartest horses he ever sees. He says the horse is just like stupid smart. Like, he's so workmanlike, and he understands a lot. His mind's really good. Well, he runs in a maiden special weight at Tampa that was absolutely loaded. It's been a very key race. 4 winners back from it. Pletcher had one of his top young horses in it, Power Shift, and they went at it in the stretch, and Power Shift had a better trip, and they went out in the stretch, and he got a 97 buyer. He beat him, but he had a 97 buyer on that. Power Shift had a better trip. So he had a 97 buyer in a maiden, which is crazy. Well, then if you want to get him in the Derby, and this is unlike Chad Brown, he throws him in the Louisiana Derby, and he wins the Louisiana Derby. A second race out, which I think's hard to do, but I don't think it's just out of that. If Lucas did that or Baffert did that, I'd understand it because they're always going for it. That is not Chad Brown's style.
Think he's got a live one. You think he's got a live one?
I think he got a live. I do. but I will say he's 12-1 now. He's starting to become a lot of the wise. Everything I'm saying, a lot of the wise guys are saying. So it's I wouldn't call him a long shot, but I wouldn't call him a favorite. He's like, I think you're going to see him right around that 10, 12-1 range.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you, I don't have a big X next to his name. I like that. I do like that horse. My top pick, if you've paid attention to my third and second pick of Chief Wallaby and Puma, you might be able to pick up where I'm going with this. I'm with Josh here. I got Commandment. Like Anthony said, has won in multiple different ways. Super impressive win in the Fountain of Youth. The Florida Derby, he closed better than two closers in Puma and Chief Wallaby. The only thing that worries me about this is Saez's first time on this horse. I do not like that, and I'm hoping that it doesn't matter. But that's where I'm at with it right now, man. I'm at Commandment. And Anthony, I told you this the other day before I even looked at any of these horses. I said Commandment is the winner. I don't even care how good he is. Who was last year's winner? Sovereignty.
Yep.
Sovereignty this year. Commandment. Just keep the trend going on.
Like it.
Commandment is the winner. Just sounds like a Derby
Let's
winner
go.
too.
We're all in on Commandment.
Hey, for real, do y'all ever see horses in the Derby and be like, that is not a Derby winning name.
I know.
Derby winning name. Or maybe you like, man, that sounds like a Derby winner.
100%.
Do you ever think like that? I know you're not big on names, but do you ever think, man, that sounds like a Derby winner?
But then you say, man, that bird, they don't say a Derby name, but it's a Derby name now.
Well, I know.
Or Mage.
So, I mean, just looking through here, Derby names to me, like, Commandment's got to be it, dude.
What's your favorite Derby name? Like, just without really looking one up. What's your favorite? I know what mine is.
I got mine too. I want some money on this horse.
Really,
I like American Pharoah. I do like that name. I think that's a cool name. I even think Justify is kind of a cool name. Silver Charm, whatever. But for me, it's the one, and without really thinking any harder, Sunday Silence. I like Sunday Silence.
I got two winning colors.
Okay, I like it.
And then the next one didn't even win the Derby, but it was part of my tribe with Super Saver. And I won some money on this horse throughout its career. Just randomly in places. I think he won a race for me before. But Patty O'Prada. I used to just be like, Patty.
I still like Hot Rod Charlie, even though he broke my heart. I still like Hot Rod, and I don't know, Barbaro. The names. I've never really thought about my favorite name. I have to get back to y'all.
Bernardini was one of my. I like Bernardini, but he didn't run the Derby. He was a late developer. He ran the Preakness. That's when Barbaro broke down, and Bernardini freaked and ran a stupid buyer. Your buddy said this to me because I always told people Barbaro better be lucky he broke down because Bernardini was a freak of nature. But your buddy made the best point to me that day, Brandon. He said, dude, what kind of rivalry would that have been? Because Barbaro was good.
Yep.
He was really good, but Bernardini was a freak. Real quick, for people that are old horse racing OGs, when I was a kid, people never forget the horse Arazi.
Oh, yes.
He was the
monster.
He had came over here as a 2-year-old.
Yep.
And freaking dominated the
Breeders' Cup. Oh my gosh, yes.
Like it was a freak show move.
Yep.
Freak show move. And
he looked like a train coming down that stretch.
So he went back to Europe or wherever he was from the rest of the year, and he came back for the Derby. And you talk about a hyped horse coming in. Arazi got his ass beat when he came back, though. But Arazi ran the greatest Breeders' Cup juvenile of all time.
Oh, man, I still remember. I was probably...
It was like they were staying in steel.
Yep.
Son. It was like they were staying in steel.
All right, well, I spent all my time on the Derby. This is literally the first time I'm looking at the list of names on the Oaks. For those of you that don't know, the Oaks is basically the Derby on Friday. It's the Derby for the girls, for the fillies. So the Oaks on Friday, I have not looked. So I am going to be stupid money right here. I'm going to pick my favorite name. I'm going to look for the one that I think sounds like an Oaks winner.
Well, I'll pick one, and this is the Blitz the Bookie Trifecta.
Blitz the
Bookie Trifecta. Just a 50-cent try. It's $3. Do a 50-cent box try for the Blitz the Bookie Oaks.
Blitz the Bookie Oaks Trifecta. Well, I'm winging it because I have not looked. Have y'all even looked at these horses?
I have a decent amount, not a lot. Like the Derby, I'm burnt out on the Derby.
Well, let's let Anthony go first since he. Have you looked at him, Josh?
Just these names.
Just the names.
Yes, because they said it was such a, it's pretty much a wide open race. So I mean, a lot of even talent here. So I really did not take the time to break it down.
So for me, it's going to be the other horse that got pneumonia with the emerging market. his filly, Chad Brown's filly. I'm not a big Chad Brown guy, but I'm all in with. I do think he's a good trader. It's kind of like Kobe. I never was a Kobe Bryant guy, but I knew he was great. That's how I feel about Chad Brown. His filly, always a runner, has only run 2 races. Maiden special weight he did in February. Then he won the Gazelle, or she did. She's out of Gun Runner, which I love Gun Runner. She produces top babies. On the bottom end, it's the AP family, the Malibu Moon family down there. Stamina and speed is what you get there. And that was that horse that got pneumonia with Emerging Market. They both missed her 2-year-old year. And so she only has 2 races herself. It was almost the same situation. So, and she's out of Gun Runner. So I'm going to go with always a runner.
Yep. All right. I am going with, only reason I'm going with this is I was late to get to the pod today, later than I wanted to be, because my wife was getting her hair dyed blonde. So I'm going with the 14 Brooklyn Blonde. Is that Japanese horse?
Yeah, it looks like it.
No, Michael McCarthy trains.
Yeah, Michael McCarthy, but he does have
so. He's got that.
It's got Kamira Kazushi on him.
I don't know. Again, I haven't looked, so I couldn't even tell you.
So we got 9-14.
Well, I'm going to say, just looking at it, there's 2 of them that's just kind of stick out to me as sounding like Oaks winners, and that is Counting Stars and Bella Ballerina. Those sound like Oaks winners to me, but I'm not taking either one of them. Give me the best jockey in the world. I'm take the 2-horse Zany. Give me Zany and Irad Ortiz, Todd Pletcher. I like Pletcher.
Favorite jockey? Who's y'all's favorite? Who y'all think's the best or favorite best in the game combo? Because I don't know if mine's the best.
I'd probably say my favorite might be Johnny V. I like the old man, but I mean, I think Irad's the best.
I do too.
Don't even think it's.
Yeah,
I think. I wouldn't say that. There's a lot of good ones.
He also gets the best horses. I think it's hard to judge sometimes
because he's the best.
Right.
I'll say this: I'm not saying he's the best, and I'm not saying he's not the best, but I love how he hand rides. And I'm talking about Tyler Gaffey. He reminds me of Patrick Valenzuela is trying to make a comeback now at like 70 years old. But man, if you ever go watch P-Val back in the 80s, he rode Sunday Silence. Nobody had a hand ride like P-Val. He just couldn't pass the drug test.
I got a story about Gaffleon I'll tell.
Dude, that dude, like, Gaffleon, dude, when he gets those arms going, dude, he pumps them arms. And I love that. Like, to me, that's what a jockey does. Like, the jockeys that really pump those horses' heads, I feel like they're willing them forward. I don't know if they are or not, but that's how I feel.
All right, so the Blitz the Bookie Oaks Trifecta, $1 try box. It'll cost you $6.
Yep.
2, 9, 14. And if you want to do a trifecta with well, I guess you can't because me and Josh got the same pick. But I'll say Commandment. We'll go Commandment. Josh, or who was Anthony's? Who was your top pick, Anthony? I didn't even write it down.
The always
emerging,
always a runner. I kind of like
no, in the Derby, Emerging Market.
Emerging Market.
So you can do a 6-15 exact.
And yes, all right, I like that. 6-15 exacta on the Derby and 2, 9, 14 trifecta for the Oaks.
$10. You do your $2 exacta box, $1 try box, $10. Get you invested in the Blitz the Bookie.
Now, if you want our more comprehensive picks, you can. We're selling what $29.99.
Got to get on the Discord. Got to get on the Discord.
1-900-582 Blitz the Bookie. 1-900-582 Blitz the Bookie.
That takes forever.
They're gonna still be dialing. It's gonna be ringing. They're still hitting numbers. Maybe we'll put out a pick 5 for y'all or something. A Blitz the Bookie pick 5. Bet some pick 5s, guys. Invest like $20 on a pick 5 ticket because that's where you can win some big time money. But have some fun on Derby week. If you like the horses, if you're in town, if you live in Kentucky, go to the track. I know it's expensive, but great time. Win some money. And don't get too hammered because Oaks, if you go on Friday, you're going to be there until what time's the race go off?
I think it's 8:50.
8:50.
Could we hide out? Like, could we go to the Oaks, freaking get us a bag with our clothes, towards the end of the night?
Yeah, we go up in that spot you were pointing out.
Dude, I know some other spots
the
too.
Old little spot. We'll just take us.
It. Blitz the Bookie, do it, and we'll video it that night. Say we'll kind of go. Put us with light, we'll cover overs. Blitz the Bookie.
We'll go live, TikTok live of Blitz the Bookie sneaking and staying in. It'd be like
we're protesting that.
It'd be like Home Alone 2, how they stay, how they stay in there overnight, they hide. Blitz the Bookie's going to find a spot in Churchill. We're going to hide, and we'll be there Saturday. I like it.
Let's go.
It'll save us like
$1,000.
$5,000 between the four of us. So, all right, guys, it's been fun. Next week, we'll be back to the transfer portal and the NFL draft and all the madness going on right now. But it's Derby week. I'm ready to go get my mom from the airport, and it's to the track for the next 2 days, and then Derby. What are y'all doing, Derby? What are y'all doing?
I lay low. I just chill over at the same place I'm at Friday.
Oh, you're going to Chad's?
Yep.
What are you doing on Derby?
I'm not sure. We usually do a couple things. Like it's almost
Usually-
like
your brother, right?
Well, it's like Christmas. Like we'll go to my brother's, and we're like it's like you got to see a couple people because you don't want to be rude. But
you can't bounce around on Derby Day.
Oh, we do it. Remember this that we got TVG. I mean, remember this that Kentucky, it's known for its beautiful horses and its fast women. Baby.
Let's go.
You said that the other day, and it cut out. Did you all hear it?
Yeah.
The audio messed up right when
Yes.
you said that. But he got it in there.
So we're
again.
talking about the Central Block Party. They used to always have them little shirts and like the little corny shirts people say, and it was something like we got beautiful horses and fast women. I thought that
talking
was
shit about our women.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to edit that out.
That's right.
Guys, y'all have a good Derby week. Blitz the Bookie.
Hey, good luck, guys.
They're just all fighting each other.
It's crazy.
Let them burn themselves down. Let them dudes fight. That's the fucking thing to do, right there. 7th Street Flea Market. Fucking let's do it. Just like the Redneck Brawl. Let's
Over
do
the
it.
summer, we'll do a bracket like
I'm
Matt
at it.
Jones and Drew Franklin.
We need to host the fucking fights like they do the Redneck Brawl.
We can be on the juicy undercard.
Yeah, that's right.
we can't forget. We ought to do like a bracket. Like,
Well, I love this idea, dude. I love it.
We could get Nick
We're
to
better
do that,
than
dude.
them.
We could get, hey, if Nick wants to make some real fucking money, I'm serious. You get the whole Kentucky fan base in Harlan counties, get him a little gym in there. The
Box
Kentucky fan base, they will flock into Harlan County, baby. I promise you. The Pikeville Civic Center, that's where we'll have it at. Tell Nick if he wants to make some real money, that's what he'll fucking do.
in between the cockfights.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie Stats, he's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find.